I will say, growing up in the state of California, you really see or have seen some wild stuff. And what's always been odd to me is that, yes, I'm a Republican, registered Republican, fiscal conservative at heart, but it's so odd to me that there's these people that are Democrats in the state of California that are like moderate. You know what I mean? Like they're old school Clinton, JFK style Democrats, not even Clinton, just JFK style Democrats, like RFK Jr. And they look around and they're okay with this stuff, man. I mean, there is so much homeless. I mean, the state, really, I'm not kidding you guys. You can go pretty much anywhere and you're going to see the destruction of some sort of Democratic policy. And they are completely fine with it. I mean, you'll talk to them like, yeah, I don't know what's the problem. It's like, well, I don't know. That guy's dead. What do you mean? What's the problem? That guy's dead. Yeah, because of fentanyl, because you guys allowed the stuff to pour across the border. That's fine. I mean, the guy chose it, right? Well, what about that guy right there? That guy's doing the fentanyl crawl. He's bent over. He's been like that for 12 hours. It's Roger. It's fine. He's been here for years. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Yeah, but they're all along the railroad tracks. Like they're going to get hit by a train. They have a right to shelter. It's the wildest thing you'll ever see in your life. And I'm not sure if I could totally grasp it. And I've always wondered, I'm into how things work. I'm into how people think, how they click, you know? And the wires are like this. We always share it. The wires are like this, meaning crisscross for those on audio. Patriots, it's good to see you in the chat. Welcome back for another damn episode of the Bald Brad Show. And I couldn't be happier to wake up this fine morning and spend it with all of you. And I mean that sincerely. No, I'm not being a smartass. I know it sounds like that, but that's just my curse in life. I sound like a smartass sometimes when I talk. And it sucks when you're trying to be sincere. I'll tell you, you'll lose friends over it. You'll lose friends and family members, sometimes girlfriends, but I'm being serious. I love you guys. All right, let's jump into the news here. Okay, something we talked about a little bit yesterday, but Trump vows to end corrupt mail-in voting. This is one of the things that they questioned Caroline Leavitt during the White House press briefing of, well, how exactly is he going to do it? No real answer. And quite frankly, I don't really have an answer for you. I don't know. So President Trump announced on Monday that he is renewing his push to eliminate mail-in voting nationwide by executive order ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. By the way, I think this should be a thing. I think it's something that's been abused. I think it's something that leads to a lot of fraudulent things happening. I mean, folks, we literally showed you that tape from CNN at a gas station, it looked like, going, hey, we're out here at the gas station and we're going to watch people put in their vote. And there's like this black lady just like stuffing ballots. Matter of fact, let me just see if I could find it real time really quick. I mean, you know, the show, look, I tell you, we do show prep, but sometimes we bring up old stuff that isn't a part of the show prep. A stuffing ballot box. Let's see. I guarantee you it's going to come up. I mean, it's weird. Here it is.
You can see this woman right here casting her vote. Did you vote for Reagan or Jimmy Carter?
Yes.
Carter, okay. We don't want to get too personal with people here, but you can see there's actually a
just stuffing the crap out of the ballot box. Look at this thing. How many does she have? How many? Look at this. I mean, I just off the pixelated screen. Where's the 1080? She has 2, 3 right there, maybe 4, stuffing a bunch in there already. Don't worry though. Remember, but Patriots, how many years were you all told that this doesn't happen? I'm telling you, a Democrat, well, this is most likely Democrat. If it's a Republican, I got some questions. Why are you driving a minivan if you're a Republican? That's a joke. Careful. But they will look at this clip and say, she just has outgoing mail. Those aren't ballots that are labeled ballots, by the way. Those aren't ballots. That's just outgoing mail. She's paying her bills the old school way, writing the checks, cutting the numbers. You know what I mean? Making the deliveries. That's outgoing mail for UPS, folks. I told you, it's one of the wildest things you'll ever see in your life. These people, they will turn a blind eye to it. It doesn't happen. And then they'll lie to you about it. They'll gaslight the crap out of you, which we had to deal with for years. Well, calling it the practice of fraud. Now, this kind of was allegedly sparked. I don't think so much really. I think it was just a reminder for Trump. Allegedly, Putin kind of brought this up to him in his meeting. And look, if you want to know about fraud and somebody that knows how to, cheat an election, I would say Putin's pretty good at it. Everybody's seen Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. What a hunk, right? The guy's awesome. Based on a true story, because the guy was so good at what he did, didn't the FBI and the three-letter agencies work with the guy to figure out how to, make things so that you can't counterfeit them because of his knowledge? So wouldn't you listen to a guy that, is pretty good at forging elections and faking elections and making fake stuff happen? Wouldn't you listen to Putin going, hey, man, I just want to let you know, one of the easiest ways to steal an election is through mail-in balloting. Like, I would probably my ears would pucker up. I'd be like, what'd you just say, Putin? Vladimir, what'd you just say? Say it again. Say it again. This time not in Russian. What the hell did you say? Like, I would listen to the guy. Quote, we're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt, Trump said Monday, arguing that it's the only way Democrats can win elections. Now, there's some truth to that. The reason why? Illegal immigration. Look at the state of California. I mean, they want to include, and they don't want to. They have always included illegal immigrants in the census. Sorry, you don't get representation. That means you're taking representation from somebody like me, which is a Republican, because they, by and large, always vote Democrat if they do vote illegally. The president is also taking aim at electronic voting machines, which he called seriously controversial, in favor of watermarked paper ballots. The expected executive order is likely to face immediate legal challenges, which will fail, by the way. He'll lose this immediately, as states constitutionally control election administration. And that's correct. That's why I said I don't know how he's going to do it. I haven't honestly put much thought into it. I like it. I like the idea of it, but it's up to the states to figure that out. And unfortunately, when you know you could cheat, you'll do it. So, look, don't tell me Democrats don't cheat. Don't you tell me that, folks. Hello. Tulsi Gabbard just released a whole bunch of information of the Democrats fabricating freaking documents to go after Donald Trump and make him look bad. What? Like Barack Obama did it. Joe Biden did it. Freaking all of them did it. Hillary Clinton did it. Secretary of State. Don't get me going on it. Crossfire Hurricane, all that stuff. They fabricated it for elections. The Hunter Biden laptop, the PP hoax. Literally all this stuff was faked. And by the way, we were all called a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I'm ramping you up this morning. We were name called for years. This isn't real. That's not true. You made that up. Oh, you're a racist, bigot, sexist, xenophobe, blah, blah, blah. Turns out we were right about pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. You got it, Dizzy. By the way, we're going to make Dizzy go viral. Dizzy's going to be more famous than any of us, by the way. Hopefully he doesn't forget us. And I'm being as serious as a heart attack, Dizzy. I ain't fucking with you. I'm serious. You wait. I'm going to make you famous, Dizzy. You just listen to my advice. You're going to pop off, baby. You're going to pop off. Democrats have vowed to fight the move. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said any measure making it harder to vote would be dead on arrival in the Senate. By the way, another thing to Dizzy. Focus on your hashtags, brother. You need 5 good hashtags. Don't put... I love the name Dizzy, but don't put that in your hashtag. Put other hashtags in there so you can reach more people. FYP's one, hashtag viral's another one. Always have those 2 for a while. And then some other stuff. We're going to work on it, baby. We're going to work on it. Dead on arrival in the Senate. Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold called Trump a weak president grasping at straws and claimed that mail ballots do not help one party over another. Just real question. 1 in the chat if you believe that. 2 in a chat if you think, no way in hell. Now, for those on audio, I get it. I'm just in your ear right now. You're working, you're grinding, baby. You're trying to pay your bills. God bless you for contributing to society and making a difference in your family or yourself lives. Or maybe mine if you want to donate money because it helps support the show. Now you can change my life. Now you can change your family, yourselves, and mine. That would be greatly appreciated. We do take donations. We do take super chats. And we also take memberships here. I will take your money. And yes, this is a protein shake in the morning. By the way, I've lost over 10 pounds. You're welcome. Thank you. However, we're on one today, as you can tell. However, data from the 2024 election shows that Democrats were significantly more likely than Republicans to vote by mail, with an 18-point split between the two parties. Why? Well, there's that cliche stereotype that they're lazy, that they can't work, they can't get a job, they don't want to do anything, they want to mooch off the government, they can't get off the couch. That's stereotypes, by the way. I'm not saying that's true. That's stereotypes. Oh, boy. So that's there for you. Hopefully, I would love it, but it ain't going to happen. So I'm not even going to bother holding my breath with it. Here's the other thing that we talked about. U.S. deploys warships to confront Venezuelan cartel. So the reason why, Brad, we know this already. Yeah, but remember, there's always gems. There's always hidden little things in here that we can get. And also, look, there was a question yesterday during the White House press briefing. This is why your boy watches everything. Is because I save you time so you don't have to. One of the things here with the U.S. Navy deploying 3 guided missile destroyers. Oh, that's some power. I got goosebumps saying that. Just, you know what? Go ahead, say it yourself, and it's going to make you feel better. Yeah, really. No, I'm not kidding. I have goosebumps. I'm not joking when I say it. My whole body's electrified, baby. What I'm saying here is U.S. Navy. Just say it with me. Say it with me. Everybody come in. Shh, come here. Say it with me. The U.S. Navy has deployed 3 guided missile destroyers. You feel powerful. Yeah, you'll feel like a different person when you say it. I'm telling you. If you're at work and you're in a quiet place, go to the bathroom really quick. It's going to change your day. It will, because it's badass. And it's almost like you were the one that deployed them. You know what I mean? It's almost like you were the one that sent them there to clean up the mess, baby. Making a difference. Dizzy, thank you for the $10. Thank you, Dizzy. I appreciate that. Ball Brad rocks. No, dude, you guys rock. Appreciate you. Thank you. Off the coast of Venezuela, and you help keep the lights on. Appreciate that. Our lights do flicker every now and then, but, that's California for you. That's Gavin Newsom doing the Lord's work, allegedly. Can't even get the electric grid right. Don't get me going. I'm going to get riled up here. Coast of Venezuela, as part of Trump's administration escalating military confrontation with Latin America drug cartels. Now, here's the part that was mentioned in the White House press briefing. Somebody asked, would there or could there be basically the potential of American boots on the ground taking out these cartels? She didn't say there's going to be boots on the ground to take out the cartels. She said basically anything's on the table. And I told everybody yesterday during Dark MAGA that was basically her way of saying, yep, we're going to go in and tear up some ass. Now, obviously, I don't want any American troops to pass. So a little worried. I would rather do it from the air. You know what I mean? I don't mind. Like, if it's going to save our boys' lives and you get a little bit of training in there by taking out these cartel guys that are killing hundreds of thousands of our people, we're basically, I've always said this, we're basically at war. I mean, I'll pull up the stat while we're doing something else here in a moment, but we got to be losing I think 250,000 people or something like that. It's insane. It is insane, the drug crisis we have here. And, Democrats exacerbated it. Like I said, they'll turn a blind eye. Look at this. The deployment includes a bunch of Burt-class destroyers, 4,000 sailors, and Marines. Careful. We got spy planes and at least one attack submarine. The firepower is just insane. The muscle that is out there, and that's nothing. You know what I mean? I know for me, I lose kind of sight on how powerful our Navy is. We always joke around about U.S. Sailors and stuff like that. These guys, excuse me, I got to cuss for a second. We'll fuck you up. I mean, they will fuck you up. People forget the might of the military. When you see the boys coming in hot, you know what I mean? The guys just out there driving the freaking, U.S. carrier, and they don't really drive like this, but it looks cooler. Driving the carrier like this, go, what's up, bitches? Even though he's indoors, he still has his sunglasses on, just with his jaw out. What's up, fuckers? We're gonna tear you up. Making America safe, baby. Goddamn. All righty, where are we at? White House touts win on peace, crime, and economy. Here we go. Can we just get something in the chat for Trump? Not that he sees this, but can we get something in the chat for Trump? Just the name Trump. Trump's the best, something like that. Trump's the freaking godfather. I don't know. Trump is amazing right now. The guy's doing it all. That's why we voted for him. This is why we voted for him. And you know what? I think more than ever, I know for myself, and I think some of you might feel the same way, I just want this guy to do it all. Just to shove it in their faces. all the shit you put that guy through. I want him to be the greatest president that's ever existed. So for the rest of my life, the rest of the time that I live on this earth and do this podcast, I can always point back to those Democrats, the whole party, you scummy sons of bitches, and point towards that's who you went against. And I was thinking about this last night, and I was debating whether to bring it up. That party. And I said it yesterday it was either Dark Mag or yesterday morning. You guys know which one. I don't know. Where I said, what the hell is wrong with that party? Like, what? Look, they've all, in my opinion, they've always just been really wrong. Right? Since their inception. Andrew Jackson days. They've always been wrong, in my opinion. Okay? They're the party of slavery. I'm just going to repeat it. The party of the Klan. The party of Jim Crow, the party of segregation, the party of anti-civil rights. Correct. Everybody gets that wrong because they learned revisionist history. It was Republicans that had the votes to allow civil rights. So once again, Republicans saved the day. Gee, what else are they a party of? High taxation, right? Gee, they're the party of the FDR New Deal stuff that drove us into debt where we're at today. I mean, the list really does go on. They're the party of, fabricating classified documents to go after political opponents. I mean, really, when you look at the inception of that party to where they're at today, they've pretty much, I mean, at least the differences between what we've screwed up on as a party of Republicans and them is night and day. And you cannot change my mind on it. You could just do a simple Venn diagram and you will see that you can't fit any more things on the Democrat side. And they all turn a blind eye to it. And you know what they do? What do they always say to us, you guys, whenever we bring up their history? What's the only thing they had? And it has the number 6 in it. And you can put it in the chat. What's the only thing they could say about the inception of our party is January 6th was the worst day in American history. Really? You guys maybe enslaving black people? That wasn't it? Maybe putting the Japanese in concentration camps? That wasn't a thing either? I don't know, maybe what you did to the Chinese? Gee, should we go down the list? Segregation, Jim Crow, all that stuff? KKK hanging black people? Lighting stuff on fire, lighting their houses on fire, putting explosives near their family? That wasn't a thing, really? Yeah, that wasn't the worst time in American history, really? The Civil War was pretty bad. Thank God we won. We, meaning Republicans. Thank God. It's remarkable. Anyway, I don't know how I got there, but shout out to Trump for making and doing everything great again. By the way, if you're always curious as to why I drink coffee in the morning, one, I gotta wake up, and two, I talk literally all day. I talk for almost 6-7 hours throughout the day. Plus the show gives me about 8 hours. And sometimes we do Dark Maga, which gives me 9 hours of talking. You got to wet the pipes, wet the whistle. And, this is my Buddy Baker. My voice is my Buddy Baker. Alrighty. So Trump administration is touting a series of major victories on foreign and domestic policy, including significant progress towards the peace deal in Ukraine. We will see what comes of that. Now, I've heard they moved from a trilateral meeting to a bilateral meeting. Why did they do that? I don't know. I don't care. Just the fact that they're having a meeting between the two leaders is great. It's a move forward. And the fact that Joe Biden didn't do anything, just another reason as to why Democrats are lost. He doesn't know why he didn't do anything for 4 years. That's what happens when you sleep on the beaches of Delaware. A dramatic drop in DC crime and a record high stock market. Hold on a second. We haven't done this in a while. What a bigot. Oh, God, he's oppressing black people. What a racist, am I right? I mean, the guy's destroying the LGBTQ alphabet soup community. Can you believe? There was no crime. There's no homicides in D.C. No reason to deploy the National Guard. This guy's not sure. He's rounding up Americans and deporting them. We're going to go into a depression. You guys remember that one like a few months ago? We're going to go into a recession and a depression. You're going to be eating the leather off your freaking shoes. Shut up, you idiots. You guys fucking killing it right now. You've never made more money. You never made more money. The guy's saving you money hand over fist, left and right with these new, the big beautiful bill. Give me a freaking break. The border's secure. Your family's more safe than ever before. You guys kill us. I know. I'm with you guys. I don't see what the Democrats see. I'm sorry. I try. Hand to God, I really do. I put in the effort outside the show to see what they see. Look, I'm not blind, so I can't do it. I can't do it. Following his summit, Vladimir Putin, President Trump is pushing for a trilateral meeting. I heard that it moved to bilateral, according to yesterday's White House press briefing, and that a trilateral is possible after Zelensky and Putin meet. And by the way, I'll be fair. That's how it should be. I think Trump, it's nice to have Trump there because, look, in Trump we trust, baby. Not just me, but clearly when everybody's sitting around the guy's desk. France, Italy, blah, 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 UK, other European leaders. When they're all sitting around Daddy Trump's desk, when they're done, they'll kiss the ring. Thank you, Daddy. Remember how they call him Daddy? We were joking because we call him Daddy every now and then as a joke. They actually did it. Yeah, look, he's Daddy Trump. And in Trump we trust. Following the summit, they both should meet. If Trump wants to do a trilateral, all for it, but let them both hash it out. I'm kind of worried about Zelensky. Like, what if they try to poison the guy? It crossed my mind in the shower before I started the show. I was like, what if like Putin like shakes his hand and you know, like the old school, like Jack Nicholson buzzer thing from the original Batman with is it Michael Keaton was the original Batman? He shook his hand and like it like shocks you. What if he had like a little bit of like a poison on the his palm? He's like, "Hey Vlad," bam, and just takes him out. That's a fear of mine. Hope that doesn't happen. At home, the federal takeover of the DC police is yielding dramatic results. Check these numbers out. We watched these numbers on Dark Mag yesterday. Jaw dropping. The DC Police Union reports that just in the last 7 days, look at the work Trump could do in a week. Carjackings are down. Listen carefully. If you're on audio, you're not even going to believe it. In the last 7 days, carjackings are down 83%. Robberies are down 46%. Violent crime is down 22%. Insane numbers. And by the way, overall crime is down 8% in a week. In a week. Because Democrats can't do their job. Why? Well, their narrative is to defund the police. They don't want to fund the police. Matter of fact, oh, really? They always go, where am I getting that? That's the question you want to ask Democrats? Gee, I don't know. Zohran Mamdani and all the other things you guys said in the past. Zohran Mamdani, we've shown the receipts. You heard it from the horse's mouth. The guy thinks that NYPD is racist. Okay. So I want him to win. Yes. If I was there, I would be voting for Zohran Mamdani. And I'm being so freaking serious. I'm being so serious. Let it fall. Let California fall. I live here. I am telling you, let my state fall. Let it fall. I'll be here to pick up the ashes. I will be here to clean it up. I ain't going anywhere yet. My fucking state, I'm bringing it back to what it used to be. Ben Shapiro can leave. Dave Rubin can leave. All these fuckers can leave. I like them. I love them. They can leave. I'm in here taking in the trenches like James Klug, bringing the state back, baby. It was the best state in the union. I don't care where you guys live. It was the best state. And you know what? When it comes back, I don't want to hear shit like, oh, yeah, I was here the entire time. No, my ass was literally on the coast taking grenades, baby. All righty, we're going to another news. Now, I might leave. We'll see. Sometimes it just gets too expensive. But we're going to try to turn this ship around. We really are. We're going to try to make a difference. All righty. Sometimes, a lot of times, I hate to say it because it sounds very boastful. It sounds very egotistical. I almost said testicle. You got to be careful in the morning. See, this is what happens when you do a morning show. Egotistical and testicle sound very similar. Okay, we're a different news show here. Now, speaking of testicles, you really wish Democrats would have some. And the guy that I'm about to show doesn't. How often are we ahead of the news cycle? I mean, Dan Bongino says it all the time. We'll keep you 2 months, a year. No, we're the same way. We have a lot of overlap in our audience, by the way, me and Dan Bongino. Not to mention, you know what? If anybody's listening on Rumble, can you make us like, I don't know, on the editorial list every now and then? If anybody on Rumble's listening, I know you guys listen to the show and I love you guys. I always brag about you. We are the top morning show here and we don't get any recognition. We're the top freaking morning show. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm deviating really quick here. I just want to mention this because it always blows my mind. Can I just show you guys something? Okay. This is the morning shows. Folks, we are right here. We are in the top 10 morning shows. Most of these people, I hate to tell you guys, but Tucker Carlson, Jesse Lee Peterson, Patriot TV, MAGA news outlet. Do you notice these are all outlets? These are all like funded people, millions of dollars, works for a radio show. By the way, Wendy's great. I'm not beating her up. These are great shows. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. There's us, top 10. And by the way, you want to know who funds this? You and I. That's it. And it ain't with a lot. I'm not saying, look, I appreciate your donations. I'm just saying, we're not making a living. We're not even close to making a living. Like, folks, I told you, we make like 50 cents a day on YouTube. I'm not exaggerating. That's some real shit. Now, that's not me pleading for money. Please don't think that. I know how you guys work. I'm just letting you know that these people are funded heavily. I would love for us to be up here because that's where we belong. There's no better show. I'm sorry. I'm usually very hard on myself. I don't think there's a better morning show than what we have here. I don't. Find one. Find one that's going to give you this freaking energy. It doesn't exist. I've looked for it. That's why we created what we created here. Moving on. So speaking of somebody that doesn't have testes, and I told you that it was probably going to happen, and it looks like it's true. Gavin Newsom. Eyes on 2028. Here you go. Gavin Newsom launches fundraising campaign. Set sites everywhere except California. And he has a very, very good possibility of winning. The fundraising campaign for California Governor Gavin Newsom has an interesting target audience everywhere in the country other than California, fueling speculation that the attention-seeking governor is building support for a 2028 presidential run. I would fall over my chair if I'm wrong. And I've always said this. There's certain things that I will always tell you that I hope I'm wrong in, and this is one of them. I really do pray that Gavin Newsom does not run for president. Newsom, who has done his best to thrust himself, there's a word for you. How are you going to thrust without any testes, asshole? Sorry. Okay. Hey, that's dark MAGA talk. I apologize. You're right. You're right. My kids are listening. I know. I'm sorry. I'm Jesus. No, well, there I go again. I'm sorry. Look, Lord, I apologize. I'm all over the place today. Can you believe it? Can you believe what I put in the coffee? A little bit of Trump, baby. A little bit of sprinkling of Trump's sweat salt because he's working. So sorry. This is why you guys come here. It's a little bit different show. You don't get this type of entertainment this early in the morning anywhere else. I'll keep saying it. I work for those memberships. And you know it. By the way, if you want to join, become a member over at Rumble, you get Dark MAGA with it. So thank you. All right. Thrust himself into the national conversation in recent weeks, is running a series of internet fundraising campaigns this month in support of a proposition to further gerrymander California. So they're going to put on the ballot this November, do you want to redistrict places? Which is going to give them about 5 House seats or something like that. Folks, it's already 80% Democrat. It's, by the way, the seats in California don't even represent the proportion of Republicans to Democrats in the state already. It doesn't, it's, by the way, he's actually breaking the law. I've mentioned this before. In the state constitution, he is not allowed to do this. Even if you put it up for a vote for the people would be breaking their own constitution. I guess in a way, I understand we're a republic, but in the form of a democracy, I suppose if the will of the people say, yeah, we don't give a crap about our constitution at all, we don't care about the rules and regulations, and we're voting to go against it, I guess more power to the people then. I guess that's one way to do it, because the other route would be him just doing it himself and not taking up a vote. Gee, by the way, why wouldn't we think that they would do that? They did it for their own party during the last election where they voted in, air quotes, Kamala Harris. She didn't get a single vote from the Democrat Party. That's kind of odd. So he's going to break his constitution, our constitution here in the state. The move comes in direct response to Republican effort to redistrict in Texas, as Newsom's positioning himself as the man standing in opposition to President Donald Trump, which is hilarious because he keeps going after Donald Trump. But the problem is, and I think he really does think this because he's an idiot. He thinks Donald Trump's really going to run in 2028. And Trump keeps trolling him with the 2028 hats because the Democrats just don't get it. They just keep getting trolled and trolled and trolled because Trump is a master at trolling them. So he thinks he's probably still running against Donald Trump, that he has to save democracy, right? That's according to him. It's his words. But democracy's at stake. There's an authoritarian in the White House. There's an authoritarian in the state of California. That's where there's an authoritarian. It says, we're not going to watch Donald Trump rig the next election. I told you, blind eye. You know those horses that have the blinders on? You guys know what I'm talking about? They have them at like Disneyland. Some of you own horses. You know those blinders? Yeah, it's like Democrats wear those all the time. Look, you can't see anything. Can you see me now? No. You can take a peek like that. Hello, Gavin. Rigging the election? Gee. Do you want to look at California? Do you want to look at you breaking your own constitution to put forth something that you're not legally allowed to do for another 5 years? Gee, Gavin, do you want to talk about what the Democrat Party did under Barack Obama with Crossfire Hurricane? Because that makes you guys look really bad, by the way. Hey, do you want to talk about you guys saying Hillary Clinton was healthy when we saw her pass out and being carried into a van? All that stuff. Gavin, you want to talk? Gavin, you went to the French Laundry restaurant for dinner while all of us were stuck at home. You closed down the beaches. You closed down the schools. You made people social distance up to 6 feet, even though Anthony Fauci said it was a complete BS number. Like, you did all these heinous things to people. Nancy Pelosi did it too. She could get her hair cut, but everybody else couldn't. Gee, that's a little odd. Yeah, you can spare us, Gavin. He's a slimy guy, you guys, and he will lie. He lies to us in California. He's going to, and has been, lying all to you. And he's good at it. He's very, very good at it. We're not just going to sit back and watch what's happening in Texas and not respond to it. Newsom said in one ad. It's time to fight fire with fire. Not a good phrase, Gavin, considering you let California burn down every single year. I can't wait till this guy's gone. I'm as serious as a heart attack. I'm going to go outside the second he walks out of that freaking governor's building and he's done because his term is up. I'm going to light up a Mayflower cigar. I am going to make an extra potent old fashioned, and I'm going to sit on my balcony and I am going to sip and smoke that cigar in happiness. And I am serious, by the way. I am so serious. I have the spot picked out. I know exactly where it's going to be. I've been waiting for it because the guy is sucky. Fire with fire, my ass. You let a freaking entire LA burn down, you and Karen Bass, you idiot. We're going to the ballot. We're going to redistrict here in the state of California, but we're going to need your help. Oh yeah, need help breaking the law. That's great. So really fine job there, Gavin. So get ready, guys. 2028. Who else is going to do it? Who else? The guy's terrible. The guy's absolutely terrible. All righty, let's see what else we have here in the news for all of you. I want to get something good. We haven't seen a video in a clip. You know who we haven't seen actually in a hot minute? We haven't seen Scott. I'm so sorry. I know. It's almost turning into a tradition that we show you a Scott Jennings clip. So let's see if we can get something where Scott's slapping around some CNN here. So let's do that really quickly. Give me un momento to pull up. You know what? I'll actually cleanse your palate with a couple Scott Jennings clips here. So give me one moment. So here's Scott Jennings talking about the stated goal of his administration is for Ukraine to exit the sovereign and free and to be an ally of the United States. Here we go. It's about a minute 28. Oh, it's Dana Bash. Is it Bausch or Bash? I don't know what it is, but here we go. Come on, Scott. Give him hell, baby. I'm putting on my headphones for this. We love Scott. Everybody, shout out to Scott in the chat.
The goal of this administration is for Ukraine to exit this sovereign and free and to be an ally of the United States. We're going to be in business with them on certain issues. And so if that's your stated policy, you have to put in place guarantees to keep them that way. So that's number one. Number two, President Trump hasn't always listened to Mr. Bannon. He didn't listen to him on Iran and ended up making a righteous decision to take out their nuclear facilities. And number three, just to counter your point, he's already using his tools. getting NATO to go to 5% on spending. Those countries.
Motherfucker, I was muted. You're right. You're absolutely right. Hold on one second. All right, we're back with the Bald Brad Show. I know you guys can't. I know. Thank you. Lip reading. Motherfucker, I always do that. Sorry, I know you got kids around. I apologize. I mute myself because I almost died a moment ago. You didn't see, but I was choking. All right, so we're going back. I apologize. Here we are. We're back. Hold on, we're live. Hey, everybody simmer down. Everybody ready for this? At least you know it's live, and at least you know there's one guy doing it. Okay, this is what happens when you're running freaking multi-monitors here, and you're trying to get everything in order here. Okay. Which is actually works out because I actually screwed up the super chats anyway, so this is perfect. All right. Patrick with the $10. Just because you're a badass, Brad. No, Pat, I said that you were a badass because not only do you contribute to the show, but you're also a moderator. So let's give a shout out to the moderators in the chat because they're badasses because they volunteer their time. They don't get paid to do it, folks. They're here all the time and they're great patriots, just as all of you are. And I really appreciate that. Peggy says, and I love this, Peggy. I love this. Thank you for the $10, by the way. What the hell's in the protein drink? I need some. So this is Orgain. I actually know the family that makes this, which I didn't know. I was drinking this at work and I had a student go, do you like that? And I said, I love Orgain. Orgain's great. It's 30 grams of protein, by the way. And she goes, oh, my family owns it. I was like, what? I'm like, I'll take a flat, please, free. So, really great. And they don't plug the show. It's just really great protein. 30 grams. I drink it for breakfast. I was 214 point something 3 weeks ago. I'm 203.4 as of this morning. My goal is 180 by the end of the year. And we're going to do it because we set goals here like Donald Trump and we make America healthy again. I'm serious. That's why I'm doing it. Make America healthy again. You got to make yourself healthy again. I put my words where my mouth is. Rattler 25. I have not seen that name before. There is nothing G like waking up late and D watching H your show at 1.5 speed to catch up live. Shout out, man. I appreciate that. Rattler 25. I love that. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for the donations. You're the ones that keep the lights on here. Like I said, they flicker, but that's not because of you. That's because of Gavin Newsom, and he wants to run in 2028. He can't even figure out his own electric grid. You think this guy's going to negotiate or figure out anything infrastructure for the freaking United States? I don't think so. All right, well, here's more Scott. I apologize. And thank you. I know there was lip reading. Like I said, you guys, you know it's real.
Using NATO as the vehicle to get more lethal weapons into Ukraine, putting tariffs on India for buying Russian energy. He's already showing the world what he intends to do here, and that is use American leverage in a number of venues to negotiate this out from a position of strength. They've also said, and I think it's true, you have to accept the world as it is. This is not going to end any other way than a negotiated peace. The only people to negotiate with here are the people involved. Putin and Zelensky. He met with Putin. He then brings Zelensky and the European allies to the White House. It was a show of strength last night, and now the fact that there's news leaking out that they are discussing security guarantees for Ukraine ought to tell you how serious he is about ending this in a way that meets the administration's stated goal, a free and sovereign Ukraine that is an ally of the United States.
We love Scott. There's another one for you right here. Scott Denny just dropped a dose of reality. I believe that's the one that we saw. Let's see really quick.
World as it is.
Yeah, we got that one already. All right. Well, I guess there's not really much in the way of Scott slapping around the Democrats. That's too bad. That's really too bad. Was this the last one? See, that was a while ago. Oh, that's what Scott. We got more news. We're not going anywhere, folks. I want to make sure that you guys are getting up to date on everything that's happening. I usually watch it on 2X when I am late to the live stream. I do the same thing. I watch pretty much everything on 2 times the speed. If I listen to an audiobook, it's on minimum 2 times, sometimes 3 times the speed. Alrighty, we got this over here in the UK. They still can't figure things out. Look, that used to be us, so we don't want to kick them too hard. We got a lot of people, by the way, that watch from the United Kingdom. There's a lot of patriots that love Trump that are from the United Kingdom. Shib is probably the most notable one. He's been around for years. But the UK inflation soars to 3.8%, undermining Labour's pledges. Uh-oh. The UK's inflation rate surged to 3.8%, which isn't terrible. Again, for those in the econ finance world, you tend to want to see inflation between 1% and 3%. That's usually where you're going to try to be. So I'm not saying like it's 0.8%. It's not crazy, but it looks like it's going in the wrong direction for them. The highest since January 2024, driven by rising airfares, food prices, and services costs. By the way, this could also lead to rising in food prices technically as well, because this might not just be necessarily agriculture. I don't know how they do that food price category, but if you're talking about service, that service will roll into, you go, not that they, well, I guess they have, I've never been to the UK, so I guess they have Mickey D's over there, but it's going to be expensive. And I've always said is that when people want $25 to scoop food onto a plate, that gets passed down to you, and people, it's going back to when I said, when you talk to people in the state of California, it's the wildest thing you will ever see, where while you're speaking to them, and I'm saying this for a reason, because I've had many conversations like this. You ask them, do you think minimum wage should go up in the state of California? The state, not federal. The state minimum wage should go up. They always say yes. Mind you, it's already like over $15. And they go, people should have a living wage. Okay, whatever. I say, well, how much do you think they should get paid? Some people say $50 an hour. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. People say $50 an hour. And I say, are you cool with the $25 an hour to literally cooked food? You're not even making the food. You are the person that's taking that ladle at Panda Express. You want orange chicken? You want the orange chicken? And scooping it into a styrofoam bowl. Cool. What else you want? You want 50-50 chow mein fried rye? Cool. Right there in the bowl. You want beef broccoli? You want broccoli beef? What you want? Cool. Boom. Cool. You give me money. Give me your money. $25 in Southern California for that. I would like to point out, these same people will go complain about how expensive Panda Express is. The same people. There's a hand to God. I mean, there's no thought process that when you increase the cost of a service, usually that cost gets passed on to you. But you wanted it. You actually went out and said, I want them to get paid more. But then you're going to bitch about how much you're paying for the service or the food. It's the craziest thing. Leaving Britain with the steepest inflation among G7 nations. This spike challenges the Labour government's economic promises, intensifying public discontent and scrutiny on Chancellor Rachel Reeves as stagnant wages and higher living costs squeeze households, which critics blaming recent tax hikes and policies for the turmoil. So you're just getting it from all angles, basically, from them. And it's no different than basically having a Democrat over there running things. And, well, that's what they do. And it's sad. But you know what? Most of them voted for it. That country's falling apart. I mean, you're watching Western civilization fall apart in front of you. And people say, oh, it's the end of democracy, all this stuff. Yo, it's bad, man. It's real bad over there. Hopefully they can figure out and rise up and take back their country. Trump secures another nod for Ukraine peace drive. A Nobel nod, by the way. Donald Trump has received new nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize from Republican lawmakers for his efforts to mediate the Russia-Ukraine war. I think this is too early for that. I think there's definitely an argument to be made for all the other wars this guy has helped solve around the world. I don't know, like this one, where 70,000 monks just nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Granted, this is actually a little bit old, but it was something that was covered on Jesse Waters for Waters World. So we might as well take a look at this because it's a big deal that these guys are coming out. I thought it was AI at first. Like this, the first video I saw of it was actually from a cell phone. It wasn't on Fox. I thought it was maybe AI. I mean, these guys are holding up, "Thank you, Mr. President." This is crazy. These are monks, by the way. It's not a traditional thing for them to do. It's a big deal.
Broke their vows of silence to nominate Trump for the Nobel.
Dear Mr. President Trump, we are standing here today with hearts full of appreciation.
Incredible.
Today, 70,000 Cambodian Buddhist monks are wholeheartedly supportive of our Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet to nominate you for the Nobel Peace Prize. Please accept, Mr. President.
70,000 monks can't be wrong.
That's incredible. I mean, really. Gee, I didn't see, did anybody see 70,000 monks come out of silence for Joe Biden? Anybody? Nah, I mean neither. Anybody see Joe Biden solve one war? Yeah, I mean neither. Remember when Joe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, that the same Afghanistan that led to 13 service members being blown to bits because they didn't want to do their job, which a guy came out as a whistleblower on the Sean Ryan podcast, a guy that was actually there, saw it happen, got blown up himself, talked about. Remember when Joe Biden allowed people to fall from the skies? Like, you know, we always say, man, it's raining cats and dogs outside. Well, it was literally raining Afghans over there when we were pulling out of Afghanistan. Remember that whole debacle? But remember, January 6th is the most embarrassing, terrible thing to happen in American history. Like, really? I mean, Pearl Harbor was pretty bad, too. I mean, that anniversary is coming up in a few months here for December 7th. Yeah, gee, yeah. Well. So he's going to hopefully, I mean, if he can figure this out, it's a no-brainer for Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, Barack Obama basically got it for absolutely doing nothing. So there's a thing. I guess right now with Hurricane, is it Aaron coming in? I guess North Carolina. I don't know if we have any folks out there in North Carolina. It looks like you guys are getting pounded right now. Normally we say that in terms of what Joe Biden's doing to you. But I guess this is some drone footage, it looks like, over there with the hurricane weather coming in. So for those in audio, the pretty massive waves washing away the beach. So I kind of turned down. It sounds like there's a lot of wind or something like that. But yeah, stay safe out there. But that's just going to keep eroding and eroding and eroding. And I don't know if those are rocks or just giant sandbags. Oh, you know, those look like giant sandbags. Here's the problem, man. Whenever I start seeing footage, and this is going to be an ongoing issue for a lot of us. And by the way, if you're in North Carolina, please stay safe. I believe it's not going to make landfall, but, you know, we'll see. But this right here, AI, you guys, creates. I wouldn't be able to tell if this was AI or if this was real. Put it that way. That's where we're kind of going, and more than ever, I'm very hesitant to show certain clips because I don't know if they're real or not anymore. Jeff, another moderator. We have 2 moderators that donated. Thank you. So you got Pat and Jeff. I appreciate you. Brad, thank you for all you do and keep fighting the good fight. We are living during the greatest political time in history. Trump all the way up. Yes. Yes. Totally agree with that. And I know I say this a lot and I know that we still have 3 years, but I don't feel like it's long enough. You know what I mean? It's just like, especially, I always go back, like it'll be something I always remember for the rest of my life. All of us getting to hang out during all the rallies. Like I will always miss that when we're done with Donald Trump's presidency. Is just the rallies, us hanging out together with all the funness of Donald Trump, the quirky shit he says, and it's just from the silly from the good to the bad. I will miss it. And we're not going anywhere, hopefully, but you know, you will only ever have one Donald Trump. And what's crazy is we are all living in the time where there's only one Donald Trump. I mean, not only how many times do we have to win the lottery here? How many times do we have to win the metaphorical lottery of we already won by living in the United States? And then 2, we get Donald Trump. And 3, God graced us with a brain that works correctly. Can you believe it? Can you freaking believe it? Well, here's Joe Scarborough. We might we might be agreeing with Joe Scarborough here. Not exactly sure, but we'll see.
They're trying to find their footing, and it's quite embarrassing, actually. I mean, Gavin Newsom, I mean, have you seen what he's doing online? And say, just take a deep breath. Yeah. Don't try to turn the ship 180 degrees and they don't know what to do. I have a good idea. Instead of trying to school Donald Trump, talk into the camera about affordability. Talk about making groceries more affordable. Talk about what you're going to do for housing. Talk about what you're going to do for energy prices that continue to go up. We heard the congressman yesterday talk about energy prices skyrocketing in New Jersey. Don't try.
He can't, though. He can't. The Democrat ideology has really trapped them into a situation to where everything is going to crumble around them. There's only so much, you can only tax a state so much to where the people that were being taxed the most and basically footing the entire bill, which is going to be the wealthy, just say, you know what, I had enough, I'm going to leave. And that's, by the way, that's what is and has happened. And and another pigeonhole that they've done is that when you're spending just alone, just think about this, just on illegal immigrants' healthcare alone, we're not including the services outside of healthcare. Okay. So I'm going to repeat this because some people lose track and lose their train of thought. Just on healthcare category alone, not rental services, food services, legal services, just healthcare. We spend a minimum in the state of California, $10.4 billion with a B. Do you know what you could do with just $10.4 billion? You could do a hell of a lot. Gee, I don't know. How about build more electric grids? How about bring in more fossil fuel industry manufacturers, pumping, whatever the hell you call the guys? Like I mentioned, we're losing again 2 oil refineries. We used to have 40 in the state, 40. We're going to be down to 6. Why is that a problem? Well, because other people get their fuel refined from us too. So it's not just us being screwed by Gavin Newsom's dumbass policies and the Democrat policies. You guys get screwed. So if you live in, listen up, hello, I've said this time and time again that my idiotic governor affects all of you because 1, we're the guinea pig state, and 2, all this stuff flows out to your states, and 3, it directly affects you. So if you live in Arizona, Nevada, you will most likely in the next couple years see higher gas prices and a competition for fuel because Gavin Newsom's an idiot and so is the Democrats in the state. Not all of them. Not all of them. We're going to save the world. Why? Because you decided to get rid of some oil refineries, so now we're all screwed. I can't believe I just agreed full-heartedly with Joe Scarborough there. Can you believe it? Can you freaking believe it? Look at this. It's like the Lord is with us when we do this show. When I speak about something, Trump might be listening. Our president might be listening to the Bald Brad Show. Hello, Mr. President. Trump just tweeted on Truth Social. I guess you don't tweet on Truth Social. You just give truth. Any state that has built and relied on windmills and solar for power, that's California. Seeing record-breaking increases in electricity and energy costs, that's California. The scam of the century, that's California. We will not approve wind or farmer destroying, solar. The days of stupidity are over in the United States of America. MAGA. How many times has that happened to us? Where we are covering a topic, and just lo and behold, this was 8 seconds ago. Lo and behold, news breaks on the very thing that I'm talking about. That's why you guys come here. It's me plugging my own show. That's why you come here. I listen to a lot of shows. Very rarely does it ever happen. Oh, it just so happens that why we're talking about the news breaks on it. We're timely. We know what the hell we're doing here. and we make sure that you're up to date on all of the news. So like I said 8 seconds ago, I mean, the White House got it 38 seconds ago, but hey, that's as freaking. Do you think President Trump was listening? No, he doesn't listen. But it's possible only because I'll say no. The reason why I say it's possible is because thank you to Dylan and Rumble, we were one of the few influencers, podcasters. I always mention this. We had a lot of people watching the show. You guys, we were streaming live at the RNC next to Steven Crowder, as well as Donald Trump Jr. So we were on the screens at the RNC, by the way, where they all go. So there is a possibility that people did see the stream, and but they don't watch it. No, I do know I do know for a fact, I do know for 100% guarantee, there are people that do watch the show that are in the White House. Not one, not two, not three. That I do know. And here's the thing. People think because, you only have 66 live streamers on Rumble and you only have 47 on YouTube and maybe a few here or there. People think because you get low numbers that nobody watches your show. That's one of the main mistakes I made early on. You never know who's watching. And there's people, I've said it again, I know for 100% fact, guaranteed, there's multiple people that watch this show that you guys have seen us cover that we talk about. We just don't mention them. But yes, guaranteed. Now, people don't believe me, and I truthfully I can care two shits, but hand to God, it's true. So I don't think Trump would watch me. He has no reason to watch me. I'm not that good. He'll watch like Benny Johnson and like Fox News and stuff, but that's pretty much it. So here we have Democratic Representative Delia Ramirez. Deporting illegal aliens is unconstitutional. It is actually unacceptable, and it's against the law. This is a real clip. This isn't AI. This is real. This is wild.
What is happening right now under Department of Homeland Security is unconstitutional. It is actually unaccountable, and it's against the law.
Folks, this is against the law. Yeah, coming here illegally is against the law. And by the way, it's like that in a lot of countries, like almost global. Like we are probably the most lenient in terms of immigration than any other country out there, at least Western country. I look, there's people that have for illegal immigration. I'm not one of them. If you're going to come here and then you got deported, you know the risk that's involved in it. Like just with any crime that you create, even though illegal, coming here illegally is technically not a crime. It's civil. So that's why the due process, you hear James Klug talk about it a lot. That's why you get due process. You don't get like a jury of your peers. I mean, what peers would you have? A bunch of other illegal immigrants on the jury? You can't serve because you're not a U.S. citizen. It doesn't make sense. So due process is not like what people think. And due process kind of actually changes for certain grounds of illegal immigration. But unconstitutional, there's an argument to be made. If you're illegal, the Constitution doesn't really apply to you. That's why you don't get certain due process the same way that Americans do. It's actually unaccountable and it's against the law. It's not against the law. So this is what they do. They'll sit up there and they firmly believe that, man. They firmly believe it. It's crazy. Like they as if like we don't have the internet, as if we don't have ChatGPT. So let's go. Actually, let's see what the comments are saying. All the Democrats have left is lies. Well, lies and gaslighting. I mean, we've been gaslit by Karine Jean-Pierre, most notably in the Biden administration for 4 years. So we're kind of used to it at this point. I'm numb to gaslighting, by the way. She's talking about Dems being corrupt. Yes, Will gets it. Will understands that I told you they do nothing but project. They're always projecting. Whatever they are saying about us, it's actually them doing it. The most famous one right now is the whole Russia collusion thing and the elections and the Crossfire Hurricane. All that stuff was basically them just projecting. Lock her up. It would really help a lot if some of these jailhouse lawyers actually read the Constitution and know what they're talking about. Well, even if they do know what they're talking about, the problem is that people will take what they're saying and then they will run with it. So the goal isn't to actually tell the truth or be logical or make sense. It's because people will hear, oh, they're a lawyer. Oh, they're a representative. They must know what they're talking about. And they'll just run with it. I've always even said for my audience, take what I say with a grain of salt. That's usually why I try to show you the articles myself so that you can actually see some receipts, or I'll pull up like a video in real time like I did with the ballot stuffing so you guys know I'm not just pulling it out of my you-know-what. It's not always possible because, like, I've always said this, it's just me, right? So sometimes I'll say, hey, you guys, like, it'll just pop in my head. Hey, guys, remember that old article that we talked about like 2 years ago or 4 years ago, or when Karine Jean-Pierre said this or that? I can't pull up everything. I try my best, but most of you guys will recall and have that memory. So with that being said, we always have a hard out at 7. It's 7:01, 7:02 technically. You got 2 minutes extra from me today. So appreciate you guys sticking around for those 2 minutes. Thank you. It's a crime. It depends. Is it Tiberius? It does depend on the what we're talking about in terms of legal immigration. So it's not always a crime. It is sometimes a civil matter. So, and that's me splitting hairs. By the way, I'm on your side. Just want to mention that. But in terms of what the legal system looks at it as, partially it's civil, partially it is criminal. It depends on what we're talking about. But most of it, like overstay. I hope I'm not getting this wrong. If you came across the border, like you walked across the border, that's a crime. But if you overstayed your visa, I believe it's civil. If I have that right. But anyways, it's morning. It's early. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you to everybody that donated. Again, if you become a member over on Rumble for my channel, you can join us during Dark MAGA when it is closed off, and it's for Rumble Premium members only. You can come over now. You don't have to pay $100 a year for Rumble Premium. You can actually just become a member, so it's supporting me, and you get more content because you can come to Dark MAGA podcast, which is usually the first 2-3 weeks of the month. From Thursday on, for the rest of the month, it's going to be open to everybody. So come join every Tuesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Dark MAGA, where we get a little bit crazy, a little bit feisty in the chat. Some of you go a little bit far, but that's what it's all about. That's an opportunity for us to be a little bit dark, be a little bit silly, and sometimes put on the Dark MAGA hat. But with that being said, pray for this country, pray for Donald Trump. I hope all of you have a blessed day. Stay safe, and we'll be back here tomorrow with more news on The Bull Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.